sana katika matangazo mubashara, ikiwa leo ni mkutano wa tatu wa kimataifa wa magonjwa makubwa yasiyo ya kuambukiza. Namna hiyo mtazamaji, kubwa zaidi hapa ni katika ukumbi wa mikutano wa kimataifa wa NASI jijini Dar es Salaam, na kubwa zaidi ikiwa ni mkutano huo wa tatu wa kimataifa wa magonjwa makubwa yasiyo ya kuambukizwa, ambapo mgeni rasmi tayari ameshafika hapa ambaye ni Waziri wa Afya Mohamed Mchengerwa. Na kubwa zaidi hapa, awali imeanza kwa nyimbo hizo, wimbo wa taifa la Tanzania, lakini wimbo wa Afrika Mashariki ukisikika hapo, ikiwa ni ufunguzi wa mkutano huu ambao unafanyika kwa siku ya leo. Mimi ni Idris Abubakar, nitakuwa nikishirikiana kwa karibu kabisa na Violet mwana wa Mbaruku. Bila shaka uko vizuri Violet?
Niko salama kabisa Idrisa. Kama ulivyozungumza, mkutano huu dhima yake kubwa ni katika kuangazia mikakati ya kukabiliana na magonjwa yasiyoambukiza na kuimarisha uhusiano wa kikanda kwa Afrika. Ukitazama changamoto ambazo zimekuwa zikilikumba bara la Afrika, magonjwa yasiyo ya kuambukiza ni mojawapo ya changamoto kubwa. Kwa hiyo mkutano huu umekuja kwa ajili ya kuliangazia hilo kwa kina, lakini kuangazia hatua ambazo zimepigwa mpaka sasa katika bara la Afrika kukabiliana na magonjwa haya ya kuambukiza.
Haya, tujielekeze kwa Mwenyezi Mungu kwanza.
Kwa jina la Baba na Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu, amen. Tuombe. Mwenyezi Mungu, Baba wa rehema na chanzo cha hekima yote, tunakushukuru kwa kutukutanisha katika mkutano huu wa tatu wa kimataifa wa mkakati wa kikanda wa PEN+ wa kukabiliana na magonjwa makubwa yasiyoambukiza barani Afrika. Tunaomba uongoze mijadala, maamuzi na mipango yote ili ilete matokeo yenye manufaa kwa afya na ustawi wa watu wote. Wajalie washiriki hekima, umoja na moyo wa kujitolea kwa ajili ya huduma bora za afya. Pia tunawaombea viongozi wa serikali katika nchi zetu zote, na zaidi tukimweka mikononi mwako Mheshimiwa Rais wetu wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, pamoja na wote waliopewa dhamana ya kutuongoza katika nchi hii. Uwajalie busara, uadilifu na moyo wa kuwatumikia wananchi kwa haki na amani, ili waendelee kusimamia sera na mipango inayolinda maisha na ustawi wa watu. Tunaleta maombi haya kwa njia ya Kristo Yesu Bwana wetu, amen. Kwa jina la Baba na Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu, amen.
Tuendelee kuomba. Mungu Mwenyezi, Muumba mbingu na nchi, Bwana wa historia ya mataifa na Baba wa wanadamu wote, tunakushukuru kwa kutukutanisha siku hii muhimu sana katika nchi yetu ya Tanzania kwa kusudi la kutafakari na kutafuta njia za kuokoa maisha ya watu wetu dhidi ya magonjwa makubwa yasiyoambukiza. Tunatambua kuwa kila pumzi tulionayo ni zawadi kutoka kwako, na kwamba hekima, maarifa na uwezo wa kutenda mema kwa wanadamu kutoka kwako. Baba wa rehema, tunawaombea viongozi wa mataifa yetu uliowakabidhi dhamana ya kuongoza watu wako, hususan Mheshimiwa Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, pamoja na wakuu wa nchi, mawaziri, viongozi wa afya na watendaji wote ambao tunaomba uwajalie afya njema, ulinzi, busara, uadilifu na moyo wa kuwahudumia watu kwa upendo. Tunaombea bara letu la Afrika, tujalie ushirikiano unaovuka mipaka ya kisiasa, kidini, kikabila na kitaifa, ili maisha ya mwanadamu yawe kipaumbele chetu cha kwanza. Tunawakumbuka wagonjwa wote wanaopambana na saratani, kisukari, magonjwa ya moyo, figo na magonjwa mengine yasiyoambukiza. Wafariji wanaougua na wape wataalamu maarifa mapya ya kuokoa maisha. Tufundishe kuona ndani ya kila takwimu kuna mwanadamu, ndani ya kila sera kuna familia, na ndani ya kila uamuzi kuna maisha yanayoweza kuokolewa au kupotea. Tunauweka mkutano huu mikononi mwako. Ubariki mijadala, maazimio na matokeo yake yawe chanzo cha afya bora, matumaini mapya na maendeleo endelevu kwa Afrika na dunia. Tunaomba haya yote kwa unyenyekevu na imani katika jina la Yesu. Amen.
Kindly be seated. Tunawashukuru sana. Thank you very much, our religious leaders. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored and delighted to introduce Honorable Muhammad Omari Mchengera, our Minister for Health, and our guest of honor this morning. Can we all please put our hands together for the guest of honor? Delighted to have you with us, guest of honor. Allow me to remain cognizant of all the ministers present. You will all be introduced momentarily. All Excellency ambassadors present, all medical practitioners, all our esteemed sponsors, guests of honor in our midst. We have young children. Our children, delighted to have them with us this morning. All invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, Kazina Utu. Kazina Utu. And a very good morning to you all, and thank you all to be here on the 3rd International Conference on the PEN Plus Regional Strategy to address severe NCDs in Africa in the year 2026. Guests of honor, this conference is guided by the theme, Advancing Progress Towards SDG Targets for NCDs in Africa by 2030, reflecting on PEN Plus implementation, progress, challenges, and the future. Without further ado, allow me now, guest of honor, to invite to the podium Dr. Grace Magembe, the Chief Medical Officer, to come and introduce the audience that is right in front of you, to be followed by the objective of this conference, which will be presented by Professor Mohamed Yakub Janabi, the Director for WHO for Africa. Let's all put our hands together for Dr. Grace Magembe, the Chief Medical Officer. Karibu sana.
honorable guest, Mohamed Omar Mchengera, the Minister for Health in Tanzania, who's here representing Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania. I'm standing before you to give a brief introduction of who is here in this room. And let me start by first welcoming all our guests who have traveled across the globe to come and visit Tanzania to attend this very important meeting. I hope you had a safe travel to Tanzania and that you've had a brief rest, because I know some of you came very early this morning and you're ready and energetic to attend this 3 days conference that is going to give us an opportunity to discuss a number of issues regarding non-communicable diseases that are very important and significant to our continent. On behalf of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania and the Ministry of Health, I warmly welcome you all to Dar es Salaam in Tanzania for the 3rd African Regional Pen Plus Conference. We are deeply honored to be the host of this meeting for the 2nd time. And we are also very honored because this actually signifies and demonstrates the shared commitment that we have in terms of strengthening health systems and improving access to quality care services for NCD as far as our continent is concerned. But I also want to take this opportunity on behalf of the government to thank the World Health Organization and all partners for the confidence that you've bestowed in Tanzania to host this very important meeting. Honorable guest, together with us, allow me to introduce Honorable Sadam Kuya, who's the Acting Minister of Health from the President Office, Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar. But we also have Professor Mohamed Janabi, who is the WHO Regional Director for Africa. We also have Dr. Saif Shekalage, who's the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Health. We have Mr. James Reid, who is the, I would say, and Miss Lina, I hope she's here, who are the main sponsor of the ICPPA. Honorable Minister, we also have a number of ministers who are here with us, and allow me to introduce them, and I will humbly request each one of them to stand as I introduce them so that the audience can appreciate your presence here. Let me start with Dr. Chris Baromusi from the Republic of Uganda. Welcome, Honorable Minister. We also have Honorable Dr. Sabine Nsimanzana from Rwanda. Thank you, Honorable Minister. We have Honorable Dr. Ali Haj Adam from Somalia, who is representing the President of the Government of Somalia. We have Dr. George Figueiredo from Cabo Verde. I hope I pronounce it very... Oh, he's represented, please. Thank you. We have Honorable Hussein Hilario Isse from Mozambique, also representing His Excellency, the President of Mozambique. But we also have Honorable Dr. Aden Duale from the Republic of Kenya. We have Honorable Mamokete Nteke from the Kingdom of Lesotho. We have Dr. Austin, I've not seen him, Dr. Austin Dembe. I think he's not here. But we also have Honorable Charles Chilambula from Malawi. Thank you. We have Kanya Mabuza, the Principal Secretary of Health from the Kingdom of Eswatini. We also have permanent secretaries from different ministries from the United Republic of Tanzania. Dr. James Kilabuko from the Prime Minister's Office. Dr. Kedmon Mapana from the Ministry of Youth Development. Dr. Hussein Mohammed from the Minister of Education. Non-communicable disease is a multi-sectoral issue, so that's why all these ministries are represented here. But also we have Slim, who is representing the Permanent Secretary from Zanzibar. We have together with us Dr. Mohamed Abdulaziz, the head of the Division of Disease Control and Prevention, Africa CDC. We have Dr. Benido Impuma, Director of Disease Prevention and Control, WHO Region Office Africa. Thank you. But also we have Dr. Alex Gasasira, one of our own, the WR in Tanzania, wherever he is. We have Dr. Basala. She's a liaison officer for WHO in Zanzibar. We have Ambassador Ricardo Mtumbwida, Ambassador of Mozambique to Tanzania. Honorable guests, we are also blessed to have a number of WHO representatives in several countries, and I would also introduce them before you. The first one is Dr. Bakayogo. I hope I pronounce it well, from Cameroon. Thank you. Dr. Sojino Vincent from Congo. Thank you. We have Dr. Brian Chirombo from Rwanda. Yes, and we have Dr. Susan Tembo from Eswatini. We have Dr. Charles Njuguna from Malawi. Honorable guest of honor, we also have different officials from government departments and ministries who are present here. Could you all rise up, please? Including heads of institutions, our national hospitals, and all other institutions. From the President's office, Prime Minister's office, Minister of Health, and all ministries that are presented here. Thank you. But we also have development partners from different organizations. Could you also rise so that we can recognize you? And guests of honor, we have a very important group with us. Non-communicable diseases are very closely linked with what we eat, what we drink, and what we do. Whatever goes in our stomach is very close linked to non-communicable diseases. Allow me to introduce a very special group. These are food vendors. Baba na mama lishe. Naomba msimame alafu mpige vibe la nguvu. Thank you. So these are the people who feed our stomachs. So if they feed anything that is wrong, we end up with NCDs. We are blessed with their presence here. Together with us also, we have survivors or people who are living with non-communicable diseases from various communities. Wale wote ambao wanaugua magonjwa yasiyokuambukiza au wanaishi nayo. Najua tuko wengi, lakini wako wachache, naomba waweze kusimama. Vikundi mbalimbali ambao vimekuja kutoka kwenye makundi ya watu ambao wanaishi na magonjwa yasiyokuambukiza. Yes, karibuni sana. They are not the only ones. Some of us are not seen in the front, but we are there. We know ourselves. And we also have healthcare providers from different health facilities across Tanzania. Could you all rise up together? Yes, from public and private health facilities. But also, I'm reminded that we have the ambassador of Rwanda to Tanzania. Is he around? Yes. You're welcome. Okay. And then we have children who are coming from Kondoa, but also people living in the NCDs that are from Kondoa. Kondoa is very far from Dar es Salaam, but they've traveled all the way to come and join us in this very important conference. Can they stand up? Our children, but also NCD survivors who are coming from Kondoa district. Where are you? I'm told that you're here. Can you please stand up? Yes, there are our children, okay? They are here as a living testimony that, you know, you can live with NCD and continue with your life, and they'll have time to tell you their testimonies, how they were diagnosed to have NCDs and how Pen Plus has changed their lives, and now they can continue with school and other activities just like other kids. But also we have representatives from media houses that are here. We also acknowledge your presence in this meeting. Honorable Minister, I know there are so many groups.
You see the benefit. It's from an extraordinary achievement, reducing maternal mortality rate from 556 to approximately 104 deaths per 100,000 live births. This is not a statistic. It's mothers who returned home alive. Children growing up with their mothers, families staying together. Africa is watching you, Tanzania. We are going to ask you next year, where have you moved from 104? As you know, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan was chosen to be the champion of maternal health in Africa. The guest of honor, I just want to remind everyone here, pregnancy has never been a disease. It's a normal physiological change which the mothers go through. So there's no reason why should anybody die. So coming to what brought us here today, Your Excellency, I would like you to pay attention to the slides which I'm going to show, but non-communicable diseases is no longer a future threat in our continent. They are the present reality. Today, NCDs, you can look on the slides. 37% of the death in Africa is from non-communicable diseases. And what shocks most, just in 2000, it was 24%. As you sit here, nearly 1 in 4 of adults live with hypertension. Sasa we muhesabu tu mtu aliyekuwa karibu na wewe, 1, 2, 3, 4, one of you has high blood pressure, whether you know it, whether you're on treatment. 1 in 20 lives with diabetes. So you can imagine in this hall here how many diabetics we have, some of it still silent. And 1 in 7 Africans will develop cancer before the age of 75. These deaths rarely make headlines, like Ebola, like Marburg, but they happen every single day. It's a slow motion pandemic. I remember a young mother who traveled for days seeking care at JKCI with a heart disease. She arrived too late. I still ask myself, what if care had been available closer to home? That is why Pen Plus matters. And if you scan quickly the 3 original countries of West Africa, Your Excellency, your country, my country is leading on this, is 39%. Can you go back to the previous slide, please? Followed by Kenya, and then Uganda. PEN Plus is about building on a simple principle. Next slide, please. No child with type 1 diabetes, no young person with sickle cell diseases, and no mother with heart diseases should have to travel hundreds of kilometers for life-saving care. Today, PEN Plus operates in more than 20 countries and saves over 100,000 people. Rwanda has achieved the national coverage. Honorable Minister from Rwanda, Dr. Sabin, thank you. Malawi has trained hundreds of clinicians. Ghana is strengthening health financing. Tanzania is following the trend, and many others are scaling up. Honorable guest of honor, these are not pilot projects. They are proof that children return to school, young people live longer, and mothers survive. This is equity in action. This progress has been possible because of strong partnership. I would like sincerely to acknowledge the Leon Harry Hamsley Charity Trust for its steadfast commitment to PEN Plus implementation across our region, to Roche for advancing women's cancer care, the World Diabetes Foundation for strengthening diabetes services, and the Wellcome Trust for advancing mental health across Africa. This partnership demonstrates what is possible when governments, communities, development partners, philanthropist organizations, private sector unite behind a common goal, ensuring that every African, regardless of where they live, has access to quality health care and the opportunity to live a healthy and productive life. Next slide, please. Excellencies, this is not only a health issue, it is an economic issue, a development issue, and a justice issue. When illness strikes working-age adults, families lose income, economies lose productivity, and nations lose potentials. As they say in Kiswahili, afya ni utajiri. Health is wealth. If you look on your slide, the continent every year is losing $1 trillion in productivity and access to NCDs. Yet, we spend less than 30 billion each year, and less than half comes from the domestic budgets. Now, you can look at the economic. How do you spend less than 30 billion while you are losing $1 trillion? Look on the brighter side. Just by investing $1, the return is $7. So by 2030, for every US dollars we are going to invest on prevention, on primary health care, honorable guest of honor, I think it's wise to spend on health. Health has never been a cost. It's an investment which the countries will see the benefit. Next slide, please. We know what works, and I will wind up with this. First, priorities require actions. You can have a lot of priorities. Your Excellencies, 7 days from today, I'm going to be 1 year in this job. What I've realized, Africa does not have a problem of diagnosing what problems we have. Our challenge is on implementation. So, second, first, make NCDs a national.
How much they earn should determine whether they receive timely quality care, our answer must be firm and united. No Africa life should be lost because care was too distant, too costly, or too late. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania, under the visionary leadership of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, we have confronted this reality with seriousness and resolve. Over the past 4 decades, our country has seen a substantial increase in non-communicable disease. NCD-related deaths have risen sharply from less than 25% in the 1980s to 39% in 2021. Cardiovascular disease, which affected less than 5% of our population in the 1980s, now affects about 20%, representing nearly 4-fold increase. Cancer claims approximately 45,000 lives annually in our country, Tanzania, with many women losing their lives primarily to cervical and breast cancer. Sickle cell disease continues to take the life of many children before the 5th birthday, while a significant number of children also die from type 1 diabetes. The impact goes beyond hospitals and clinics. NCD imposes a deep economic and social burden on individuals, families, and the health system. In Tanzania, cancer treatment and dialysis service account for 20% of our reimbursements made by the National Health Insurance Fund. Many families are pushed into poverty by the direct and indirect costs of these conditions, draining household resilience and weakening the wider economy. This is why our response must be bold. We cannot build tomorrow's economy on today's untreated disease burden. We cannot speak of inclusive growth while families are forced to choose between treatment and survival. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Tanzania has taken a decisive and sustained action to strengthen the health sector and address non-communicable disease through multi-sectoral approach under the Prime Minister's office. The coordination is essential because NCD are shaped not only by health services, but also by education, finance, agriculture, urban planning, environment, trade, technology, and community behavior. We have reviewed policies, legislation, and strategies to ensure that Tanzania's response is aligned, evidence-based, and future-ready. Key strategic framework include the Health Sector Strategic Plan 5, the National NCD Strategy, the Digital Health Transformation Strategy 2024-2030, and Tanzania Digital Health Enterprise Architecture. These instruments are helping us accelerate the digital transformation of primary health care through electronic medical records, telemedicine services, improved data use, and the responsible application of artificial intelligence. Tanzania is also implementing the National NCD Research Agenda, which provides a clear framework for research priorities and strengthen our ability to generate local evidence for local solutions. In the fight of NCDs against NCDs, data is not paperwork. Data is a direction. Evidence is not academic exercise. It is the compass of leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania has increased investment in healthcare services by upgrading infrastructure at the primary healthcare level, where 80% of our communities can access services within 5-kilometer radius of their homes. This is a deliberate strategy. Care must move closer to the people, because distance should never be a diagnosis, and geography should never be a barrier to survival. We have equipped primary healthcare facilities with modern diagnostic and treatment tools, including 700 digital X-ray machines, 1,000 ultrasound machines, weighing scales, blood pressure machines, and diagnostic equipment for sickle cell disease, rheumatic heart disease, and type 1 diabetic. To strengthen the continuum of care from primary to tertiary levels, we have installed 45 CT scanners, 14 MRI machines, and 1 PET CT scan with cyclotron at our referral hospitals. We have expanded the number of LINAC machines from 3 to 8 and significantly improved the availability of diagnostic services and essential medicines, reaching up to 90% availability of essential health commodities. Furthermore, Tanzania has increased the budget allocation for non-communicable disease from 7% of total health expenditure in 2020 to over 24% of the health budget in 2024. With the introduction of universal health insurance, Tanzania is moving to significantly reduce the financial burden on citizens and protect families from catastrophic health spending. These investments are not isolated projects. They are building blocks of a national health transformation. They are designed to accelerate our progress toward SDG 3.4 on reducing premature mortality from NCD and SDG 3.8 on achieving universal health coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, the PEN Plus strategy is one of Africa's most important innovations for strengthening the management of severe chronic conditions to complex non-communicable disease close to where people live. It is an African response to an African reality. Specialized care must not remain locked in distant referral hospitals when patients need continuous support near their communities. Through PEN Plus, countries across Africa are expanding services for severe non-communicable disease to district hospitals and selected health centers. This enables patients to receive quality care without traveling long distance to secondary and tertiary facilities. It reduces delays, improves continuity, protect families from unnecessary costs, and give patients a better chance at longer, healthier, and more productive lives. In Tanzania, we have reviewed standard treatment guidelines and essential medicine lists to support the delivery of essential specialized services, including internal medicines, emergency services, general surgery, obstetrics and gynecology, and pediatrics at the primary healthcare levels. Through collaboration with development partners and the Samia Slow Outreach Program, we continue to expand PEN Plus throughout the country, especially in underserved and remote rural areas. This approach is central to quality, equality, access for affordability, and quality. It is also central to reducing preventable premature deaths. I sincerely appreciate all local and international partners supporting NCD prevention and control efforts across Africa and globally. Partnership matters because no country can defeat the NCD burden alone. But partnership must be guided by country priorities, strengthened by mutual accountability, and measured by results in lives of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference gives Africa a valuable opportunity to speak with one voice on health investment and the future of non-communicable disease services. We must increase domestic finance for health, strengthen research and innovation, improve access to medicines and health technologies, and build resilient health system capable of responding to emerging and re-emerging challenges. At the same time, we must invest more in prevention, public awareness, early diagnosis, health lifestyles, and community-based action. Hospital can treat disease, but a strong society must prevent it. Prevention is not a side agenda. It is the first line of national resilience. Sustainable development cannot be achieved without health and productive populations. Health is not a cost. It is an investment that generates social, economic, and human returns. A nation that invests in health invests in its workforce, its children, its women, its elders, its productivity, and its future. Health challenges knows no borders. Therefore, our solution must be founded on solidarity, partnership, and shared responsibility. Africa has enormous potential to become a global leader in health innovation, scientific research, pharmaceutical, manufacturing, digital health, and effective services delivery. The task before us is to turn potential into performance, and performance into lasting impact. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa has a large youth population, a strong workforce, and a tremendous development potential. But this promise cannot be realized if our young people are exposed to preventable disease, late diagnosis, and avoidable complications. Protecting young people from the consequences of NCD is not merely a health priority. It is an investment in the demographic dividends of our continent. Let this conference be remembered as a turning point in Africa, responsive to non-communicable disease. Let it be remembered at the moment we moved from concern to conviction, from commitment to implementation, and from fragmented action to continental leadership. We must leave this conference with practical recommendations that strengthen NCD service across Africa, particularly at the primary healthcare level. We must leave with renewed political commitment to invest more in the health of our people. Above all, we must live with a shared understanding that leadership is measured not by the speeches we delivered, but by the system we build and the life we save. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government and the people of the United Republic of Tanzania, I thank Professor Mohamed Yakub Janabi, WHO Regional Director for Africa, and his team for selecting Tanzania to host this conference for the second time. I also extend my appreciation to the organizing committee, development partners, stakeholders, researchers, healthcare workers, and the representative of people living with non-communicable disease for their contribution to the successful preparation of this important conference. I assure you that the government of Tanzania remains committed to implementing appropriate recommendations arising from this conference in order to strengthen prevention, control of non-communicable disease. I also call upon fellow ministers and our heads of state to continue demonstrating leadership, through stronger health policies, sustainable financing, and regional cooperation in advancing the growth burden of NCDs. The measure of our leadership will be simple. Did we bring care closer to the people? Did we protect families from hardship? Did we prevent avoidable deaths? And did we build system worth of Africans' future? Ladies and gentlemen, before concluding, I invite our distinguished guests to take time to experience the beauty and hospitality of Tanzania. Visit the majestic Mount Kilimanjaro, magnificent beach of Zanzibar, the world-renowned Serengeti National Park, and the spectacular Ngorongoro crater, one of the natural wonders of the world. Tanzania welcomes you, not only as delegates, but as a friends of our nation and partners in Africa health transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my great honor and privilege, on behalf of Her Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, to officially declare the 3rd International Conference on PEN plus Africa 2026 open. I wish you a fruitful deliberation, practical outcomes, and renewed determination to build an African where health systems are stronger, care is closer, families are protected, and every life is valued. Thank you for your attention. God bless Africa. God bless Tanzania.
Asante, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give the guest of honor one more time a big round of applause. Thank you so much, guest of honor, for your speech, which is giving us a direction for the next 1 year of where we're going before the next PEN Plus conference. Guest of honor, allow me, before I invite you to join the rest of the audience for 2 powerful panel sessions, to have a photo session, and then we shall go down and join the audience for the panel session. The panelists and the moderators are all already prepared. To begin with, may I call onto the stage? You will come from my direction and we shall exit through the right-hand side of the stage. Can I call all the full ministers present to please come onto the stage, to be followed by the country leads and the permanent secretaries. But for now, may I request the full ministers to please join onto the stage for a group photo with a high table. DJ, naomba wimbo kwa chini chini.
Naam, na mara hii kinachoendelea kwa sasa ni zoezi la kupiga picha mara baada ya kuwa imesikika hapo Waziri wa Afya Mohamed Mchengerwa akimwakilisha Rais Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan kama mgeni rasmi katika shughuli hii ya leo, na kikubwa zaidi ujumbe ukisikika hapo namna gani pia ambavyo taifa la Tanzania linazidi kupiga hatua katika sekta ya afya. Ni kipi ambacho kinafanyika hasa kuhakikisha pia yanadhibitiwa magonjwa haya makubwa ambayo sio ya kuambukiza, mikakati iliyopo pia ikisikika na ikiwekwa wazi hapo. Tumesikia mengi yakizungumzwa Violet Mbaruko bila shaka imekuwa pia ni wakati mzuri kweli kweli, na hizi siku 3 hizi zitakuwa ni siku ambazo zinatija kweli kweli kwa mustakabali wa afya hasa ya wana wa bara la Afrika.
Ni kweli Waziri Mchengerwa ameyazungumza mengi, kwanza akianza na suala la kuimarisha utafiti kwa wataalamu wa afya ambao tayari wanafanya kazi, lakini pia kwa wanafunzi ambao wako vyuoni. Kuna haja ya kuimarisha zaidi tafiti ili kuhakikisha kwamba magonjwa haya yasiyoambukiza yanadhibitiwa, yani kabla hayajatokea yanadhibitiwa. Lakini pia upatikanaji wa dawa pamoja na teknolojia katika sekta ya afya ni nyenzo muhimu ambayo inaitengeneza Tanzania ya kesho, au kuhakikisha maisha ya Watanzania kesho wanakuwa salama. Kama alizungumzia pia swala la uimarishaji wa kipato cha ndani katika uwekezaji kwenye sekta ya afya, kwamba fedha au uwekezaji wa sekta ya afya unategemea sana jitihada za ndani na si ile tu kutegemea fedha za ufadhili au kutoka nje. Lakini kama tutajimarisha zaidi katika pato la ndani, basi itawezesha zaidi katika kukabiliana na magonjwa haya, kwa sababu magonjwa yasiyoambukiza ni kwamba yanasababishwa na mtindo wa maisha au wewe mwenyewe binafsi. Lakini pia swala la elimu, kwamba watu wanatakiwa wawe na ufahamu pia kwamba Idrisa, ukiendekeza tabia bwete unajiweka katika hatari ya kupata magonjwa yasiyoambukiza. Hapo nazungumzia shinikizo la damu, lakini pia kuna ugonjwa wa kisukari ambao sasa ni miongoni mwa magonjwa tu machache ambayo yanasababishwa ambayo yanasababisha magonjwa yasiyo ya kuambukiza.
Na kwa jinsi unavyozungumza, tungeachukua magonjwa hayo na tukayaita kama muuaji hivi, angekuwa ni moja kati ya wauaji wakubwa kabisa duniani. Kwa sababu ukisikia takwimu ambazo zimetajwa hapo, inaelezwa kwamba magonjwa ambayo sio kuambukiza yanasababisha vifo vya zaidi ya watu milioni 43 kwa mwaka duniani. Kwa hivyo unaona jinsi ambavyo ni tishio kweli kweli. Zaidi ya 71 mpaka 74 hivi ya vifo vyote kimataifa vinatokana na hayo magonjwa ambayo sio ya kuambukizwa. Lakini mbali ya hapo, tunaangalia kwa sasa mkutano unafanyika hapa nchini Tanzania, wakati ambapo serikali pia ya Tanzania imekuwa na mikakati mikubwa katika sekta ya afya. Tumeona uwekezaji ambao unafanyika, na mara hii kumbuka tuko tamati ya ile dira 2025. Tunaenda kwenye utekelezaji wa dira 2050, ambapo katika sehemu hiyo moja ya mambo ambayo yamekuwa natija zaidi, kuna ule mkakati pia wa bima ya afya kwa wote. Moja ya kitu ambacho kinaaminika kwamba itasaidia kwa jamii katika kupata huduma za afya ambazo zitakuwa ni bora kweli kweli. Lakini pia tukizungumza kwenye uwekezaji ambao unafanyika sasa hivi, kuna ile tiba utalii. Tanzania imekuwa ikifanya maboresho katika hospitali zake kwa ajili ya kutoa huduma ambazo zinakuwa ni bora, ambapo kwa hivi sasa kuna watu ambao wanatoka nje ya taifa hili kwa ajili ya kuja kupata huduma hapa nchini. Yote yani kwenye kudhibiti magonjwa mbalimbali ambayo yamekuwa yakijitokeza. Lakini mwisho tumemsikia hata waziri wa afya wakati anazungumza akiwaeleza wageni walioko hapa vipo vivutio mbalimbali pia vya utalii hapa nchini Tanzania. Kwa kama maboresho yamefanyika kwenye hospitali, mgeni pia akitoka kule nje akija hapa ni fursa kwake kuweza pia kufanya utalii nje ya tiba utalii, anaweza kufanya utalii kwenye vivutio ambavyo viko hapa nchini. Kwa yote haya ni uwekezaji ambao umefanyika, lakini msingi wa kile kinachofanyika hapa leo ni kuhusu magonjwa ambayo si ya kuambukiza.
Sawa. Miongoni mwa magonjwa yasiyo ya kuambukiza, Idrisa, tumetaja hapa shinikizo la damu, lakini pia lipo gonjwa au tatizo hili la afya ya akili pia linaingia humo miongoni mwa magonjwa hayo yasiyo ya kuambukiza, ambao sasa pia imekuwa ikisababisha madhara. Tumekuwa tukishuhudia visa mikasa tofauti vingine vya kuogofya watu wanafanya kutokana na tatizo la afya ya akili. Kwa sababu tu yanazungumzwa haya, mlinzi namba moja wa kuhakikisha kwamba haupati ugonjwa usio wa kuambukiza ni wewe hapo. Yani kwamba wewe una uwezo wa kujilinda kabla ugonjwa huu haujaja, au kabla ya jitihada za serikali kufanyika. Ndio tunajua kuna huduma za afya zimefanyika, lakini pia ujenzi wa vituo vya afya kwenye kila wilaya na pamoja na maboresho mengine muhimu yamefanyika. Lakini Mtanzania kama Mtanzania, kwa nafasi yako kama mmoja, unao nafasi ya kujikinga, kudhibiti magonjwa haya yasiyo ya kuambukiza.
Wakati tunaelekea tamati, nikukumbushe pia kwamba jiji la Dar es Salaam ama taifa la Tanzania imekuwa ni sehemu bora kweli kweli, ambapo tumeona mikutano mikubwa ikifanyika hapa katika ardhi hii. Tena na ukumbi huu ambao tupo hapa JNICC ukitumika pia katika mikutano hiyo mikubwa ambayo imekutanisha viongozi kutoka mataifa mbalimbali. Kwa hivyo tunavyozungumza sasa ni historia nyingine ambayo imetengenezwa hiyo ya mkutano huu wa tatu wa kimataifa wa magonjwa makubwa ambao sio ya kuambukiza ukiwa unafanyika hapa, na ni kuanzia leo Juni 23 utakuwa kwenda mpaka Juni 25, yakizungumzwa mengi ambayo yanatija kwa ajili ya kuweza kupata maendeleo na kuhakikisha afya za wana wa bara la Afrika zinaweza kuwa imara kwa wakati wote. Sisi tunaenda tamati ya matangazo haya. Violet Mbaruk kwa niaba ya timu nzima ambayo imefanikisha matangazo haya kumfikia mtazamaji hapo alipo, mimi ni Idrisa Abubakar na mwenzangu ni Violet Mbaruk. Endelea kufuatilia TBC1 palipo na ukweli na uhakika.